Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world watching today. Hey, listen, thanks a lot for tuning in. Yesterday, we posted our tentative schedule of all of our client and friends activities that we're going to be doing here second 2 weeks of March. If you missed that, take a quick screenshot of this. This is the tentative schedule. Of course, a lot of it depends on the weather. Some things might have to be adjusted and moved around. But for now, this is what we're planning, along with a couple other things that are sort of in the pocket, so to speak. We're not going to be releasing any information on those until we get down there. But if you're down there, we're going to have a lot of fun together. But listen, this video, I think, is going to be really interesting for some of you looking at what they might do as far as moving to Belize, investing in Belize. Where should they put their money? How should they look at buying something for the financial return versus buying something to live in? And so this email came in this morning, and of course, I won't give the potential clients' names, so keep that private. But this is their email, and they say basically about 3 years from now, they want to look at retiring outside of Canada, either in Belize or Roatan. And if you kind of read through here, you get a little snapshot of what it is that they're potentially considering doing on the island of Ambergris Caye. So a couple key things here is they've given me their potential investment amount. It looks like they have about $350,000 to spend. They want a place to live. All right, that's for the couple and their daughter. And they're looking at having a couple casitas that they want to rent out for the income. And he says that their rentals will be their only source of income. So we'll address that here in a little bit. He says, I'm not opposed to working, but I'm not counting on it. And I just want to, see if the income coming in from the casitas is enough to live on. They plan on homeschooling. The question, what would you do with $350,000? Great videos and advice, by the way. Good job. So first of all, thank you very much for watching our YouTube videos. Steph and I do try to make them as educational, informative, and fun as possible. And I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do with your $350,000, but I can give you some ideas of how you might invest that, and basically what I would do if I had that money. But I'm in a little bit different situation, right? So I've been buying and investing in Belize for many, many years now, over 15 years. And we have different types of investments. I can go over those with you more in detail on a Zoom call. But I put together 3 possible scenarios of what you might consider doing to achieve your objectives and goals on Ambergris Caye with approximately 350,000. Okay, so the next slide, I'm going to go through these 3 options one by one in some detail, just to help you understand what you could do when you get down there. All right, so first of all, option A. All right, you see option A, B, and C here. So option A would be to take that 350,000, buy a piece of land in an area that you like, and because this is going to be your primary home, you're going to want to make sure that this neighborhood is something where that you and your wife and your daughter want to spend time. All right, so for some of you, that neighborhood might be Secret Beach or one of these subdivisions just to the east of Secret Beach. Others, you might prefer the south side of Ambergris Caye. You might prefer the northeast side. You might prefer, something in between. You might prefer a local neighborhood compared to a more of an expat neighborhood. And because you're going to be living there full time, this is your permanent home for this foreseeable future, the neighborhood is really important to you because this is where you're going to hang your hat. This is where you're going to call home. Buy that piece of land as soon as you possibly can to secure your spot. And then when the time comes, you can build your home, build your casitas, and then basically you have a built-in business right there. And for example, you might build the casitas first, have those up and running before you get there, then build your home or vice versa. But option A, you can do with about 350,000. Now, going back to your desire that the casitas be your main source of income, let's say you had 2 casitas on your property and they rent for a very modest $100 a night, and that's actually an extremely low nightly rate. When you look at Airbnb, the average nightly rate is significantly higher than that. When you look at the hotels on Ambergris Caye, just for a hotel, again, your average nightly rate is a lot higher, but I like to be conservative. All right, so you're only charging $100 a night. So because you're doing that, you should be able to get 50% occupancy, or about 15 nights a month on those units. So that's about $3,000 a month gross coming in. But on option A, because you're doing all the work yourself, you're doing the check-in, check-outs, the maintenance, you're doing the bed linens and all that kind of good stuff. You're not paying a property management company to do that for you. And so now this has become your job, right? So pretty much that $3,000 gross minus a little bit in taxes, that's a pretty nice lifestyle. I think, especially because now you don't have any house payment, and if you build off grid, then you don't have any electric bill. Your internet is super cheap. Your water is coming in from the rain, so you got rainwater cisterns and maybe a reverse osmosis system. So basically, you have very, very low cost of living when it comes to your home, and you have about $3,000 a month coming in, $3,000 a month coming in by renting out your two casitas. And the benefit too to doing it like this is, if you want to spend a month or two back in, let's say, Canada, then you can always have somebody rent out your home as well. So now you have the home rented and the two casitas. The problem with that is, if you're gone for 2 months, you need somebody to manage the property. So someone's got to be doing the check-in and check-outs and all that kind of good stuff. But that's option A. Buy land now in an area that you like, build your home of casitas when you're ready. Option B is a little bit different, and option B would probably be how I would do it. So if I had the 350, is that if I wanted to go down to the island with a family, all right, I would probably rent a 2-bedroom. You guys need a 2-bedroom. I would only need a 1-bedroom. I would rent a 2-bedroom for about $1,500 a month. And usually that $1,500 could include some of your basics like water and cable, maybe internet. Electricity is going to be a little bit more or less, just depending how much you use. And I would take the other $350,000 that you have, because you still have that money because you didn't spend that money yet, and I would invest that in Belize, buying and selling owner finance properties, making that 10% return, and that 350 should net you around $35,000 a year. All right. So when you look at option A and B, it's a little bit different. All right. Option A, you put down some roots. I mean, this is your home. And with option A, you can build up that property exactly how you want it. All right. So you have your house, your garden, this property is yours, but also what comes with that is a job. So now you have a job. You have to be there. You have to fix things when they break. You have to check in and out renters. You have to take care of the billing, take care of the accounting, all that kind of good stuff. But for that, you are, granted about $36,000 a year. With option B, all right, there is very little work involved because you're simply collecting payments every month. So you have a series of buyers paying you on average, so many $100 a month that add up to $35,000 a year. And with that, you take a portion of that money and you go rent something. All right. That place where you rent could be on Ambergris Caye. If you want to live on Ambergris Caye, you could rent somewhere down south, up north, Secret Beach. You want to pop over to Key for a year. You want to go to the mainland for a year. Doing it like this gives you mobility. All right. A little bit mobility as far as where you end up in the country or even in another country. All right. So if you want to use this money that's coming in to go to Greece for a year, or Turkey, or any other part of the Caribbean. Option C is a little bit of a combination between the two. Number one is secure your casitas investment. Let's say you purchase some casitas, they're up and running, 250,000. I'll give you some examples of those right now. And then, you go off and you rent something, you invest the other 100,000 at 10%. And this should say, instead of 1 year, this should say 10 years, guys. So this last line, if you invested 100,000, making 10% for 10 years, your average monthly payment on that's going to be 1,321, which is enough to go back and rent something again on Ambergris Caye or somewhere else. All right, so take a screenshot of this because I'm going to leave this screen now and I'm going to show you some options of just how you might accomplish some of these things, especially when it comes to option B and when it comes to option C. All right, well, actually all three, option A, B, and C. All right, so does everybody understand here what I've done? Option A, that is if you are absolutely 100% committed to living in Belize. This is going to be my home. I like this neighborhood. This is where I want to be. I'm going all in. And option A is perfect for you. All right. First step, secure the land. Option B, try to secure your investment first, the investment that's going to give you a return. And for you, that investment might be a couple casitas. Option 3 is doing the casitas plus trying to get another form of income, making that 10% interest to then again rent something. So these are the 3 options. Now, let me show you some examples of how you could do some of these things. Where is my Google? All right. So for example, all right, here are 2 casitas that are up and running. The property has a pool. These are fully furnished. They're in a great location in Grand Belizean Estates. And these 2 casitas are listed at $250,000. So again, going back to that option I showed you, you could today show up on the island, buy these 2 casitas with the pool. You have a turnkey business ready to go. Here's more information on it regarding how they use solar, how the water system works, the septic system, all that kind of good stuff. And if you're interested, let me know. I'll put you in touch with Israel and he can do a live walkthrough of the property for you. So this is a great way to accomplish what you would like to do as far as having 2 casitas to rent. And then with the rental money you get, go ahead and live wherever else on the island you want to live. You might want to live closer to San Pedro town. You might want to live in the south, around the north. Again, this here would be one of your main investments, and this would allow you then to go off and rent something else. And you haven't invested your entire 350, you've made a 250 investment. Another option would be, and I found this on the guys over at the Remax office across from Tropic Air, this is a home plus 2 casitas. Kind of run through the pictures here. They did a fantastic job, the builders of this property here. Very Belizean in style with all the Belizean hardwoods, some of the Belizean made furniture in there. Some of the artwork is Belizean. It's really, really cool. This looks like a typical Belizean island home. So you could pick up something like this. I think this is $349. So this gets you the house and the casitas. Yep, there it is for $349. So a couple different options here. Now, I've been talking a little bit about investing for the return. And now, where would you go if you just wanted to rent something? All right. So if you go to this website called Belize Management, stands for Belize Lease Management, Belize Management, and they have several very nice 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos at Mar Laguna. And you see rent $1,200 a month, 1,400 square feet. Oftentimes these come fully furnished. They have several here to choose from. Usually they have 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms. It depends on which building it is. I find the buildings to be that are right along the main road going north to be a little dusty, sometimes a little loud. But if you get a building that faces the lagoon, you might pay a little more for that. But man, the views are great. It's quiet. It's peaceful in Mar Laguna. So check out these rates, $1,200. Here's an option here, a 3-bedroom unit for $1,750 a month at Tranquility Beach. We look at page number 2 here. You have a couple more options. Come on, page 2. No, page 2 is not coming up for us. Oh. There we go. Royal Palms. Two units here at Royal Palm. Great place. Steph and I lived there for over 5 years. South, just before you get to Mahogany Bay Village. This project is on the ocean side. They have a nice pool, quiet property, great landscaping. Highly recommend it. And yeah, these two are here are incredible places to rent. They also have a couple here that I'm not familiar with. This is a 1 bedroom for $600 a month, showing you can get some lower price stuff, but again, just depends on the neighborhood and depends on where you want to be quite honest. So there you go. So I wanted to share that with you guys today. What would I do with 350,000 if it was me and Steph just coming down to Belize? And I would probably invest that money 100% into properties that I could buy, maybe fix up, maybe improve the value of, sell with seller financing, and then take that return, take those monthly payments, go off and rent something. That's just me. But if you are going to make Ambergris Caye your home and you really want that pride of ownership and you want to be able to paint the walls whatever color you want and put up your own artwork and just say, you know what, when my family and friends come to visit, they're going to walk into my home, not a rental unit, then it really makes sense to try to get a piece of land, build your own house on it. You can have your house custom made exactly the way you want it. You want a hot tub, you want a cold plunge pool, you want a workout room, you want space for the dogs to run around in, you want, a little jungle gym for the kids if you guys got kids. You can do so much if you have your own property. You can have a garden. You can plant, citrus trees and avocado trees and, plantain and banana plants. You can do so much of that stuff when you actually own your own home. Remember, with your own home, it's going to come a little bit more maintenance, a little bit more involvement on your part rather than a condo. But you can always transition out of that. For example, if you own your own home, you make it just the way you want it. You're in it for 5 or 10 years. Maybe you age out of it a bit. You just want a turnkey place where you can come and go as you please. You can always sell the home, move into a condo, or just rent something. So hopefully I gave you guys a few things to think about today. Again, keep your questions coming. I'm going to try to share as many of these inquiries as possible with you and give you real life options on what you could do with your money if you're looking to invest on the island of Ambergris Caye. All right, thanks a lot. Talk to you soon. Hope to see you in March.